Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie. You guys enjoyed part 1 and wanted more, so I'm here to hit you up with even more versions of Iron Man. Keep the suggestions coming in the comments down below, and let me know if I missed your fave. With no further ado, here are the top 10 alternate versions of Iron Man, part 2. Number 10. Spitfire Iron Man. In the one-shot Exiles Days of Then and Now, the Earth was not saved by the Exiles, and several heroes died when Hulk took over the Annihilation Wave and killed millions, including many popular heroes. Among those heroes was Iron Man. And when Blink tries to assemble a new team of heroes, Spitfire takes on the role of Iron Man as Tony's replacement. If you haven't read the Spitfire comics, they were a short-lived series from 1986 to 87 that told the story of Professor Jenny Swenson, who fought crime using a high-tech power suit. Yeah, basically Iron Woman, which makes it all the more fitting that she would become the new Iron Man, albeit reluctantly. Cool stuff. Number 9. Mangaverse Iron Man. In the Marvel Mangaverse, Iron Man went missing following a fight with Namor, causing his twin sister Antoinette Stark to take over as Iron Man. But then she dies, and Tony comes back, explaining that he had spinal cancer and was hooked up to life support in his armor. And in true manga fashion, he goes on to build 2 giant robots. As if they wanted to fulfill the stereotype, the first was made up of a number of transforming vehicles. Yeah. Number 8. Iron Man Noir. Iron Man Noir takes place in 1938, where we see Tony taking on an Indiana Jones-ish role, exploring the world and finding various cool artifacts. While it seems to most like he's just out for the heck of it, turns out he's trying to find a cure to the deadly disease he's struggling with. He eventually faces off against Count Nefaria, and as you'd expect from a comic based in 1938, he fights his fair share of Nazis in his futuristic looking suit of armor. Now, this was a great series. I love the time period. I really dig the Indiana Jones type adventures. Number 7. Sorcerer Supreme Iron Man. In a series of What If comics, Tony Stark was in the car accident with Stephen Strange, and the two went off to find the cure to his hands together. But this time, Stark was the one who became Sorcerer Supreme. He went on to travel to the Dark Dimension, taking on Dormammu several times before finally getting the Great Being to retreat. This was a really cool version of Iron Man, seeing Tony take on a whole new set of powers. And as it turns out, this isn't particularly unrealistic. I'll keep that vague to avoid spoilers. You're welcome. Number 6. Cancerverse Iron Man. The Cancerverse is a universe where death is no more, and life has expanded exponentially. This led every living being to become corrupted and serve the many angled ones. When the detonation of the T-bomb opened up a breach between Earth 616 and this corrupted world, we were introduced to the evil version of the Avengers called the Revengers. The Iron Man of the Revengers is pretty cool looking, and although he eventually died when Thanos brought death to the Cancerverse, I just loved me some evil Iron Man. Number 5. Ironheart. Riri Williams is the current Iron Man, having been contacted by Tony after he went out of commission. She caught his attention when she reverse engineered her own prototype of the Iron Man armor. Unlike Dr. Doom, who took on the mantle of his own accord, Riri has the support of Tony and his various suits at her disposal, although her main suit is so powerful and adaptable that she doesn't have much need to change it up. Personally, I think Riri is great. While I definitely miss Tony, she allows for a number of stories that couldn't happen with Tony. Number 4. Wild West Iron Man. In the comic 1872, we got to see Tony Stark in the Wild West, which was just great. He was an inventor in the town of Timely who fell into alcoholism after witnessing a slaughter. When the sheriff, Steve Rogers, yes, that Steve Rogers, is murdered by Mayor Wilson Fisk, yes, that Wilson Fisk, Tony decides to take things into his own hands, as Tony always tends to do. He builds a giant suit of armor and defeats Fisk, then goes on to help the people of Timely with his inventions. I really love the 1872 comics. There's always a place in my heart for a good old western, and Tony's story is quite fitting. Number 3. Superior Iron Man. During the events of Axis, Tony Stark went through a significant personality change, where many of his worst characteristics like greed and egotism came out in full force. He built a new white set of armor and moved to San Francisco, where he used a modified version of the Extremis virus to give people beauty and health, with one easy monthly payment of $19.99. This version isn't actually alternate per se, since it's still our Tony, but let's be real, that's not our Tony. That said, I would absolutely sign up for Extremis 3.0 if it was real. $100 a month to be a sexy immortal? Done. Number 2. Infamous Iron Man. When Tony Stark was critically injured in his fight against Captain Marvel, the recently reformed Victor Von Doom decided to take on the mantle of Iron Man, against the will of Tony's digital projection. He was a really interesting and cool looking Iron Man, with some pretty cool adventures. But the best part was that we got the combination of Iron Man's tech and Dr. Doom's powers. And plus he's straight up so much wiser than Tony, so it's really cool seeing him have a heart-to-heart with Riri later in the series. Honestly, Infamous Iron Man is one of the best story arcs I've read in a while, and Doom was a huge part of that. Definitely give it a read. There was just a huge reveal and I'm still reeling from it, so look forward to that. Number 1. Iron Man Earth X. In the universe of Earth 9997, Terrigen Mists were released into the Earth's atmosphere, causing mutations in the population of Earth. Tony isolated himself to avoid mutation, remaining in Iron Man armor to keep the mist at bay. Stark began working for President Norman Osborn, hoping to take his group apart from the inside. He even created the 7 Silver Samurai, which he gave to Lord Sunfire to defend Japan. But it gets even better. After dying, Tony was recruited by Captain Mar-Vell to kill Death, and they did. He was then selected by Mar-Vell to join the Avenging Host, and Tony is turned into an angelic being with a metallic appearance. Seriously, Iron Man was just so cool throughout the Earth X storyline, and for that, he gets number 1. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please smack that beautiful thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos. Did I miss your favorite Iron Man yet again? Let me know who you would have put on the list in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm Rob McKenzie LaForgia with Top 10 Nerd. Later, nerds.